Good morning. Good morning again. Good morning again. There we go. Good morning again. We are ready to resume. It's 11:29. Please make sure that your cell phones are off. Thank you.
Mr. Adams, Commissioner Baloyi asked you about an email and you were looking for it.
Yes, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. I'm not sure if this is going to assist, but I sent an email on November 1st to the Minister. That's the first email I sent to him. There was that we were copied into the response from the Minister to General Sabola. I don't know if we sent that to you. I don't know if I thought it was necessary at the time. Where they ask, the Ministry asks SAPS to respond and to furnish his office with a report with regards to this complaint. That's it. Then the second email I sent to the Minister is on the 10th of November. That's a 10-day gap. And then, I'm just looking for it. On Sunday, 10 November, I write to the Minister asking for an independent investigator.
Sorry, is the Sunday, is that the third one or the second one?
I'm just checking, sorry. So, excuse my tardiness, it's the second one.
Okay.
So, when I sit here and I must hear that I'm abusing my access to the Minister. I've sent him too many emails with a 10-day gap in 2.5 years. So I don't know what the advocate is implying.
No, I think the point that I understood the evidence leader to be making was that within 24 hours, you are using your proximity or your accessibility to the Minister to follow up when in fact it's too early to be making any follow-ups. I think that's all that she was saying.
The point is conceded,
Okay.
But if I may give some clarity, in 24 hours we're likely to lose 10 children on the Cape Flats. It's my urgency.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for understanding, Commissioner. Commissioner, I also just want to protest. I was supposed to receive a recording to listen to during the tea break. It never came. I'm being sent into the dark. I'm going to listen to edits now. I don't want to listen to edits until I've listened to the entire recording. I think it's only fair, because anything can be done to an edit. I don't want South Africa listening to snippets, and I can't defend myself in terms of the context because it's a 2.5-hour recording. I just feel that's going to prejudice me. Also, I just want the Commission... Oh, sorry, Commissioner.
May I say this? I think your insinuation that what's meant to be played here, something may have been done to it, is unfortunate, because Ms. Siegel's Ncube could not have been as open as she was if anything is intended to be done or was intended to be done to that recording. She said the idea is to give you everything for you to listen to everything. So please, don't make that insinuation. Yes.
That's not the insinuation I was making, Commissioner.
Yes.
I meant that I would need to have listened to the recording and the context of what's about to be played, because various things were said. Like, for example, we could have been talking about Commissioner Madlanga and then moved on to Commissioner Kumalo and come back to Commissioner Kumalo. So
Is that what you mean by anything can be done?
Yes. Well, I should have said anything can be assumed, rather. Sorry.
You said anything can be done to a recording. That's
a poor choice of words. I mean, assumed. I'm not known. I would never accuse an advocate of tampering.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, I think this puts me in a little bit of a
I'm sorry then, it seems I misunderstood.
No, I actually spoke wrong. You didn't misunderstand.
Okay.
And also, Commissioners, a lot of the questions that have been asked of me have come from my ad hoc statement, which is a lengthy statement. And that's the one part that I didn't have time to go through last night because, like I said, I had to do this all on my own in a hotel room. I had to call people in Cape Town and tell them to go look for that page, and it takes 15 minutes for them to get back to me. So it was very uncomfortable. So if there are any questions pertaining to what was sent to me...
No,
that
thank you very much. You've explained the issue I had a problem with. Ms. Sigels, do you want to respond to the point that Mr. Adams should not be questioned before he has listened to the recording? Do you wish to respond to that?
Chair, can I just say that we had made the offer to Mr. Adams to listen to the recording this morning. He told me that he wouldn't have time because he had an engagement that he couldn't get out of. The arrangement was for him to come at 8 to listen to it. We then said that we would try and play it for him during the tea adjournment and lunch. We were having difficulty securing headphones for him to listen to it at tea. I won't play anything until after lunch then. We can continue with the questioning, but if he doesn't finish the recording by lunch, whatever portions he has finished, I will play from that section of the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a practical way of dealing with it, Mr.
There we go, Chairperson.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Adams, I think that when you refer to the criticism that General Mkwanazi made about within an hour, in less than an hour, the minister responds to your email. So you wake up at the crack of dawn and then the minister responds. It's not the email of 1 and 10 November. It's the immediacy of you send the email on the 1st of November at 8:21, and then shortly thereafter, the minister's chief of staff, Mr. Nkabinde, responds to it. That is what he was referring to. Not that you do have a 10-day gap or a 9-day gap, as you say, but that 9-day gap has context, which we will get to. So if we can just continue with the emails that we were dealing with at 3977, which is 9B.
I have it.
You'll recall that the email from Ms. Frenchman on your behalf is at 8:21. You
Yes,
see
ma'am.
at the bottom.
I do.
And then just above that email, so your email comes at 8:21. Above that email is another email from Ms. Frenchman to Mr. Nkabinde. Do you see that?
Above the email from Ms. Frenchman on November 1st, 8:21, I see an email from Mr. Nkabinde.
No. Let's just start from the bottom.
Yes.
There is the first email, which is at 8:21 from Ms. Frenchman to you.
Yes.
From Ms. Frenchman to the minister.
Yes, ma'am.
That says charges laid by NCC. Right, and then we had gone to 3978. Yeah, and it's also on the screen in front of you.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I can't
yeah.
see that. That's
Okay.
unfocused here.
Yes, so on 3978, you will see it was on your behalf, right?
ma'am.
We dealt with that one.
It was not, if I may, it was not on my behalf. That is me typing this.
From her email address?
My laptop.
Okay. And then just above that email, there's another email from her, or from her email address. So now we know that you're the one that actually sent the first email.
And the second email.
Okay, so the second email is what I'm what I'm interested in. It's from Sakina Frenchman at 8:25, so 4 minutes after the first email, to Mr. Nkabinde. And it's forwarding the email of 8:21. Do you see that?
I see that.
Why did you have to forward this email to Mr. Nkabinde after you had already sent it to the minister at 8:21?
Oh, after I sent my first email, this is the first email, I received a call from Mr. Nkabinde like almost immediately. And he asked me in future, copy me in or send to me.
Oh, did he say that the minister got the email and asked you, or did he say he has access to the minister's emails?
We never had that conversation. Look, it's the chief of staff of the minister. He's the minister's right hand. He said to me, do me a favor, copy me in or send the emails to me.
Okay, so you then forward the email to him.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's at 8:25?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then at 9:04, he responds to the email?
Page?
The same page, above, just above that
Oh.
email from Mr. Nkabinde. And you see he's forwarding the email, your email?
Yes, I see it now.
Okay. You wouldn't have had access to that. You wouldn't have seen that he had forwarded your email to Major General Sabola.
I can check for you. I think he may have.
Or you would have later forwarded it to you to say that it's being attended to.
Something like that. I believe we had some type of correspondence like that.
Okay, but on the 1st of November at 9:04, so your complaint comes in at 8:21. At 9:04, he's responding and he's giving an instruction to Major General Sabola to look into your complaint, and that it says, in order for the ministry to respond accordingly, please furnish this office with a report in responding to this complaint and the details of the investigating officer who was assigned to investigating these cases. Your report is expected on Monday, 4 November 2024 at 3 o'clock. So that is when he's expecting a report from Major General Sabola on your complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
And you say he would have communicated to you that it's being attended to?
I think he may have forwarded this email to me. I am familiar. I seem to be familiar with the contents of this email.
Okay. Then the email above that, which is on page, it starts on page 3976, at the bottom of 3976.
Yes, ma'am.
The emails are being then forwarded to, can you see who it is CC'd? CC Divisional Commissioner Inspectorate.
I see that.
Okay. We don't know who the recipient is because we all have, I think, redacted versions of this email, unless the commissioners have an unredacted one. But this is how we had received.
But wasn't that Divisional Commissioner General Jacobs?
That's correct, Chair, but we
Yeah.
don't know if he was, if it's somebody in his office that had received it.
Okay.
Because there's a response, which also from somebody from the Divisional Commissioner's office. But we know it goes to the Divisional Commissioner, which is General Jacobs. Chair, it seems that the unredacted version is at MK 15. If I can just try and find that.
Which specific one are you looking at?
The email of the 1st of November from, that is CCing the Divisional Commissioner. If you have your original MK15, then it should have it. You can stay on the page that I'd referred you to. It isn't a recipient. I think it says div at, it's an email address that it doesn't have the name of a recipient. But it does go to the Divisional Commissioner Inspectorate, okay? And we know that the Divisional Commissioner is General Jacobs
Yes,
at that
it is.
stage. You know that,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And if we then go to the email above that, on the same page 3976, there's a National Inspectorate, Bopela, to Mark Hankel, Major General, and it's forwarding the same email, CCing the Divisional Commissioner, and says, "Good day, General. Please find an email for Lieutenant Colonel Setati for urgent attention as directed by the National Commissioner." After receiving the email, it was followed by a call to humbly request for feedback to be submitted on or before 12 o'clock on Monday, 4th November 2024. And then if we go to 3975, still all on the same day at 1313, Mark Hankel, Major General Mark Hankel, then sends an email to Colonel Van Rooyen and a whole lot of other recipients, and it says, and you can see the National Inspectorate is also copied in there. Good afternoon, Colonel Van Rooyen. Please ensure that this is urgently registered in terms of in National Instruction 6 of 2017, version 2. Please copy also to Colonel Maluleke for immediate intervention with GP and the Western Cape if necessary. Good afternoon, Colonel Maluleke. Please take note and deal with this immediately. Engage the province directly, please. Please also send screen prints of the 8.1.1.1s to me today still. Also note the deadline set for Monday, 4 November 2024. Then what follows is a report that comes from Colonel Phillips, who is in General Jacobs' office at the Divisional Commissioner Inspectorate. And you'll find the report, so you'll have to go a few pages back, at page 3967. It's an information note to the National Commissioner.
I have it, thank you.
Okay. Now, if we go to 3974, I just want you to look at who it's from, signed by. And there's an earlier one as well that I want to refer you to. If you'll just bear with me, I want to take you to the earlier version. Can I ask you to instead go to 3846 for me?
3846.
Yes, in the sequence file 9B.
Is it 9B?
Yes. 3846.
I just need to put spaces in here quickly because she's coming back here. Just give me a second, please.
B 3846. Is
Finding
it?
it. Oh, 3846. I was around 3486. I got it, bro. I got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have it?
I do. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. So it is an information.
You said 3846.
3846. It's an information note to the Divisional Commissioner Legal Services. Do you see that?
I do.
It says the purpose of this information note is to obtain the approval of the Divisional Commissioner for a response to the Divisional Commissioner Inspectorate on whether the required elements of a crime are contained in the dockets that were opened by Mr. Adams. And then what it refers to under background is the request from the Divisional Commissioner dated 20 November 2024 bears reference. It says 2.2 Annexure A, the 6 dockets in question and a statement from Colonel Phillip, who is responsible for investigating service complaints received at the inspectorate, were submitted to the Division Legal Services. And so I don't want to focus on that report. I want to focus on what Colonel Phillips reports. And for that, I just need you to go to page 3852. This is now General Jacobs' report to the Divisional Commissioner that had been legal services. And the purpose of the information note is to provide information on a concern leveled in the email received via F. Adams, MP, and after referred to as the complainant, and for your office to provide a legal opinion of criminal dockets opened by the complainant. And he says background 2.1, the complainant sent an email to the Office of the Minister of Police wherein the complainant alleged the following, and it sets out what you had alleged. And on page 3854, He says, if your office is in support of the request, please find the dockets for perusal. And it's dated the 20th of November 2024. Do you see that?
I do, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, Advocate.
Yes. Now go to page 3855. This is now Colonel Phillips' report. Colonel Phillips is in the Division Inspectorate and is appointed as the Section Commander, Complaints Collation. He says in paragraph 2, as part of my duties, I also assist investigations of service complaints received at Division Inspectorate. I was tasked to assist in, and he mentions the case numbers, a service complaint leveled by Fadiel Adams, wherein he alleged that the SAPS provincial officers had interfered in the investigation of criminal dockets open at Cape Town Central SAPS and Orlando SAPS. The allegations contained in the criminal dockets are directed at senior officers attached to the division, crime intelligence. Then he says, as part of the service complaint investigation, 6 criminal dockets were obtained with the following allegations. Now, he lists the Cape Town, you'll see he lists them, Orlando 403, Cape Town, and he's got them on there as well. Can you see?
I can see that.
So he is in General Jacobs' office, you know that, right? So when he's talking about the dockets, as part of the service complaint investigation, 6 criminal dockets were obtained. This explains why General Jacobs had the dockets. Do you see that? Because his office was tasked with investigating your complaint that you initiated by complaining to the minister, and it was then escalated to them. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay. So for you to say the dockets were found in General Jacobs' safe, why do you think that there would be anything sinister about that when you know that you complained to the minister and that it had been investigated? And you said that Mr. Kabinde had told you that your complaint was being investigated. So why would you find it sinister that General Jacobs, who is investigating a service complaint made by you to the minister, would have those dockets?
If I may? The complaint to the minister is not service delivery related. I'm telling the minister my dockets have been intercepted. That, in my view, is criminal. Now, if you look at the emails from Mr. Nkabinde, I'm not copying in on any one of them, so I don't know of a service delivery investigation that's going on until Colonel Phillips calls me. So what I'm saying is, yes, there was an investigation, but as per the SAPS protocol, the complainant comes in, he lays a charge. That docket is sent to the head of detectives. He assigns investigators. You hear from that investigator. Province cannot take a document before it gets to the head of detectives. And even so, they didn't notify me of this. Now, when you say that the dockets are with General Jacobs, I can read it here. Yes. But how are the dockets to be investigated if it's in Pretoria? I would also question, and I'm not an expert in this policy, and again, I'm missing Andre right now. If there is any rule in the SAPS rule book that allows you to transfer a docket out of Cape Town to where, or across provinces, because they are so strict on chain of custody, or supposed to be strict. This is confusing to me. Now, I understand, Advocate, exactly what you're saying, and you're showing it to me on paper, and the state signatures, everything, that's perfect. But please understand my concern. I know for a fact where the docket is supposed to go from here till there till there. Now, when the provincial office gets involved without notifying me, then this is a concern. Now, again, I'm not saying anyone is guilty of anything. I'm saying I was concerned and therefore I acted.
Which province are you referring to? Because you've got dockets in both provinces, in two
I'm talking about the Cape Town dockets ending up in Pretoria.
Yes, but you've told the minister that your dockets have been intercepted. You're asking for the minister to intervene to ensure that the investigation process, the integrity of the investigations is maintained, right?
Yes.
So that then gets activated. The minister's office engages with the inspectorate and they take it further. So they request your dockets in order to look at the dockets, to make an assessment to see whether there has been interception, and then they make an assessment of the merits of the docket. What's the problem there?
the problem again is we've got a fully functional SAPS in the Western Cape. Fully functional. I'm sure that the inspectorate has branches right there in the Western Cape. I'm saying to you that in my view, and I'm a layman at this, those dockets should never have ended up in Pretoria. And maybe we must get an expert to consult to advise us on this. I'm just confused.
No, but how can you say they should not have ended up in Pretoria? You've escalated the matter to Pretoria. You've taken it out of Cape Town to Orlando and Langlaagte, and then you escalate it to the minister. How can you then say they should not have ended up? Otherwise, how does National investigate your complaint to the minister? So you've got a complaint to the minister. What did you expect to happen when you tell the minister, my dockets have been intercepted both in Cape Town and in Gauteng?
May I?
Yes.
I expected the minister to take some type of action, and I'm not prescribing the action to him. What upsets me about, not upsets, what confuses me about all of this is I'm asking for an investigation. I'm alleging that my dockets have disappeared or been confiscated. Nobody notifies me of this. I mean, but let's leave it at that. I'm not that important. However, when those dockets are transferred to Pretoria, how much investigation can be done? So when they come back and they say to me that the information is scarce, it's because I'm sitting with the information that needs to be attached. Now, again, Commissioner, there's no communication. The dockets
I'm discussing, sorry, allow me to interrupt you. I'm discussing a different point with you. There's a thread in how you deal with that the dockets ended up with General Jacobs in a safe. And it's clear what you've been suggesting about it, something sinister about that. And I'm engaging you on that you've escalated a complaint to the minister. What is sinister about the fact that now your complaint about dockets disappearing is being dealt with at National? Of course, they have to get the dockets from Cape Town. They have to get the dockets from Orlando to look at what you are complaining about. Why do you suggest that something is sinister about that?
If I may.
Yes.
So where I'm at, Commissioner, and if this makes any sense to you, I'm not aware that Peter Jacobs' office is looking at this. The colonel who called me never told me he works in that office. He said, I'm from the inspectorate. I thought it was Western Cape. And this is why I never took the meeting with him. Because this investigation is going to get going. In my head, I don't care who's trying to sabotage it. So when I see this now, and I see this as an admission in the paper that we have the docket, I wasn't aware of any of this. Now, what could have avoided all of this confusion is I've always had a very cordial and respectful relationship with General Patikile. He's always had my number, I've always had his. He could have called me and said, hey, Boetie, you're on the wrong track here. That call never happened. There was no communication.
Yesterday you said you don't trust him.
No.
We are past that. Yesterday your evidence was you did not trust him. When Ms. Ncube said to you, how do you take the word of a retired general who's not in the police over that of a provincial commissioner that he will investigate your matter? You said, well, I was suspicious of him. I didn't trust him. So I think let's get past your relationship and your views about General Patekile. The issue now, and I thought we are getting to closing it, that now that you know, maybe you didn't know at the time, now that you know that your complaint to the minister was escalated to a point where now General Jacobs, the inspectorate, who's at National, is in looking into the matter, because now you've got the records in front of you, are you prepared to accept that this is perhaps another case where you acted and formed views actually too quickly without the facts? You're blaming it on communication. Maybe they should have told you and they did not. But now that you see that in fact there was an investigation following your escalation, that the suggestion that there was something sinister about these dockets being with General Jacobs is in fact incorrect or even unfair to him. You may comment.
I just first want to say that Commissioner Kumalo is smiling at me, which makes me worried. And then I want to say that I see it on paper, can't dispute it. I say it again, Commissioner, an email or a telephone call. And also, I will not dispute the fact that I said I didn't trust General Patikile. But if he had sent me an email saying this thing is being investigated by the Office of X, Y, and Z, I would have had proof of something, tangible proof, and I wouldn't have moved. But none of that happened, and that just made me more suspicious of anything.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for bringing that part.
Just to be sure, so you say the relationship between you and General Patekile was cordial?
It was.
It was. Will you be going to the Section 27 referral affidavit that we have?
Yes, Chief.
All right, thank you.
I just want, Mr. Adams, I think Ms. Ngube will take you through this affidavit of Colonel Phillips, but you will see as you go through it, they were trying to call you to explain why they want to speak to you about the docket. So if you go through the affidavit, you'll see that there were attempts to call you and explain all of these things. But the long short of this is that the reason there was no interception of dockets. One, the only reason the dockets ended up in Pretoria is because there was an investigation of a complaint that you had laid with the minister's office. And there were people who then needed to report to the minister at 48 hours notice. So they get an email on Friday. They are instructed that by Monday, they must give the minister a comprehensive report dealing with your complaint. And for that purpose, the dockets had to be called so that they could be investigated and a report could be provided to the minister. That's why those dockets ended up where they ended up, not for the reason that you initially advanced, that they were intercepted for sinister reasons. Dockets had to be called to investigate your complaint. That's really what happened. Or at least that's what these documents and these affidavits show. Are you now prepared to accept that, having seen these documents?
I accepted that a few minutes ago,
Yes.
my Commissioner. And also, I will not deny that Colonel Phillips attempted to call me on about 4 occasions, and I brushed him off because I didn't trust that. And however, and here's my disclaimer, after the investigation is completed, the dockets are not returned to Cape Town, but that will be my last point on that. We'll walk away from that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
So let's just go then to what Colonel Phillips says the exercise he undertook to engage you.
3858?
3856.
56.
Do you have it?
Yes, 3856, sorry. Yes, I do.
He says the affidavits contained in the dockets did not have the elements of the alleged crimes, as the affidavits were superficial and contained basic information which is believed to be hearsay. You agree with that? It was hearsay?
In the affidavit is only my one, it's nothing else.
Yes. The affidavits indicated that he was in possession of the evidence to support his allegations. Based on this, a decision was taken to conduct an interview with Mr. Adams to verify that he had in fact the evidence alluded to ensure a way forward with the criminal allegations. The following was conducted to secure an interview with Mr. Phillips. So from the 2nd of November at 2:15, they get the instruction on the 1st of November, you'll recall, and from the 2nd of November, outgoing call to Mr. Adams, introduction, purpose of call and request for interview appointment set for 3 November 2024. So did you speak to him and agree to meet him on 3 November 2024?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Okay. Then on 3 November, at the morning of, outgoing call to you, no answer. You didn't speak to him on the 3rd of November.
No, I can't answer to a missed call, but if he says he called me, then he called me.
Then it says an incoming call from you on 3 November. Conversation could not be conducted as Colonel Philip was in a noisy area. Then he says then outgoing call, a minute later he calls you, arrangements to meet later that day, no venue or time confirmed. Mr. Adams was engaged with other official business out of Cape Town. Do you recall saying that to him?
I recall mentioning that to him. Look, that's actually a very common response when people call. I'm not in Cape Town at the moment, but I'll get back to you. So it probably did happen.
And then importantly, on the 3rd of November, remember they're working towards a deadline of 4 November. That's why there's so much activity on the 3rd. WhatsApp messages between Mr. Adams and Colonel Phillip, arrangement made to meet at 8:30 either at Kales Rivier SAPS or Vida Cafe Kales Rivier. No confirmation as Mr. Adams was running late. Request from Mr. Adams for letter from Minister to SAPS. Image of email received sent to Mr. Adams. So did you request him to send you the email from the minister's office where the minister's asking for your complaint to be investigated?
I think I did. I did.
Okay, and he says that he sent it to you.
I can tell you, I never, he might have sent the email. I never received it. Or let's just say I'm not aware of the email, but he might have sent the email. Advocate, to save some time and effort, I will not deny any of what's in front of me, if that helps you.
Yes, because he said he sent you an image, which means it would have been a photo. And remember, you said that you recall seeing the correspondence about Major General Sabola, that your matter was being attended to. And I asked you, would it have been because Mr. Nkabinde would have forwarded to you or told you about it? Is it possible that it was actually Colonel Phillip that had sent you a screenshot of it so that you could see that this is the instruction came from the minister for them to investigate the matter?
It may well be possible. I wouldn't
Okay.
discount it.
Okay. Then at 9:23 on the 3rd, arrangements to meet at Lengtegeer SAPS at 8:30. You see his desperation. It's in the evening because they have to report back on the 4th.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Then still on the 3rd, you call him, you cancel the appointment due to challenges at your residence, indicated that you will travel to Pretoria on Monday, 4 November to conduct the interview. See that?
Yes, ma'am, I
Do
do.
you recall that as well?
Look, I don't recall some of it, and some of it I do, but I won't dispute any of it, if that helps you.
Okay. So we can accept that all his attempts here to contact you, and if I take, for example, on the next page, 3857, on the 9th of November, outgoing call to Mr. Adams. Mr. Adams indicated that he has eventually addressed the challenges at his residence and will call Colonel Phillip by the end of the week to confirm when he, Mr. Adams, will be coming to GP.
I do remember that call.
Okay. So you have this urgency on the 1st of November. It gets addressed with urgency by the minister. And then when they try to engage you for that very investigation, because you're worried about interference, you don't seem to be interested in cooperating with them.
I had shared this yesterday, that I had indeed brushed off Colonel Phillips. I had brushed him off because I did not trust this thing. And I was going, I think I might have spoken to the IGI by this time. I think I might have. I must just check. But in my mind is I'm not leaving this thing with SAPS. And if you read my email to the minister, I'm asking him for an independent body to look at this thing. So I will not deny the fact that I gave Colonel Phillips the runaround. That I said yesterday. I'm sure it's in the recordings. So yes, I did not meet with him because I essentially did not wish to meet with him.
But then why give him the runaround? Why not just say to him at the outset, listen, I'm not going to cooperate. I want this to be investigated by an independent entity.
You can call Colonel Phillips, or you can bring him here. And I said to him in the beginning, I don't trust this. And he said, no, Mr. Adams, we're the good guys, we'll do this. But you know what? The advice that I had at the time, and I'm not going to say the man was wrong, he said, don't meet with this guy.
Is that General Lincoln again?
Yes, ma'am, but don't meet with this guy.
What independent entity did you have in mind?
It could have been anyone, Commissioner. It could have been the public protector. It could have been the IPID. It could have been the minister could have assigned someone. I didn't suggest anyone. I said an independent body.
Why would it have been the minister who goes to the public protector on your behalf? If you felt that you had a complaint to lay with the public protector, why did you not go to the public protector yourself?
That's actually a valid question, and I suppose if I didn't get any joy out of the minister, that would have been my next step.
Actually, it wasn't, because you then send your email on the 10th of November to the minister saying you're not happy with the process, right?
Let me just check that.
We'll get to on page 57 of your bundle, your annexes, file 2.
File 2, part 2. Yes, this is confusing. Okay, right. Page
Page 58.
58. Is this file 2? There. File 2. File 2. Thank you.
Do you have it, page 58?
Sorry, just to follow up on what I asked you. So if, as you approach the minister, what you have in mind is some independent entity, and you have specific ones in your mind, what did you expect the minister to do? Did you expect the minister to go to the public protector on your behalf or to go to IPID on your behalf? Because you say right from the onset, what you had in mind was something independent. So did you expect the minister to go to those independent entities on your behalf? And if that is so, why should the minister have done that on your behalf? What mandate does he have to do that on your behalf? Yes, please.
Thank you. The way you frame it now, it actually makes me consider my response, Commissioner. But I was pleading for help here from the highest authority in the country within the subs.
But you already knew, from what you say, you already knew that you did not want subs to do this, and that what you had in mind was an independent entity. So why must the minister do that for you? What mandate did the minister have to do this on your behalf?
He didn't have one, Commissioner.
He didn't have one.
I do concede your point.
So why did you go to the minister?
It was the most obvious door to knock on.
It's not so obvious. It's not so obvious.
It genuinely...
Based on the responses you give now, it was not obvious at all.
To me, it was the logical thing to do, complain with the minister.
But what did you want him to do? Because you say in so many words that what you had in mind was something independent. What did you expect the minister to do?
I actually did expect the minister to approach like he did with the IDAC or the public protector or whichever commission there was. And I do concede what you're saying.
But if you already have those independent entities in your own mind, you ought to have gone to them yourself. Why must the minister be the one who intercedes on your behalf?
That
doesn't make sense.
That point is accepted. It's conceded, Commissioner. I won't argue.
Let me tell you what I think. I think you are not being truthful when you say you expected the minister to go outside of subs. I think you're not being truthful. You expected the minister to sort this out for you within subs. It's just that now you have difficulties answering the questions put to you by Commissioner Baloyi. That's why you now tell us about expecting some independent entity. Yes.
Commissioner, just to make it easy, because it's seeming disrespectful when I speak over you, when you're done, and if you can just put the light off, then I know I can speak. Sorry, man, because you pause, and I think you're done, and then I want to jump, and then you start. Commissioner, in my first email, I don't mention an independent entity. I'm actually half expecting the minister to use his powers, whatever they may be, to see to it that this stops. But then as in the course of those 10 days, I just get this disillusion with all of SAPS, and I say, can we have an independent entity look at this? Now, I understand the way you're framing it right now. It makes me question my own action. But I didn't jump to the minister off the bat and say, get some... No, I did not do that. I asked the minister, we have a problem here. And then as it appeared to me, if I may, my light is on, as it appeared to me that the problem was bigger than I thought it was getting, I said, Minister, can we just have an independent person or office or institute? I must check the wording. But I didn't ask for, let's say, Sultana SAPS to investigate or the IDAC. Or, I said, can we have an independent body? I think body is the term I use, but I can check the email. But I do consider and concede what you're saying, that I could have been, let me say, more measured in what I did. I will concede to that.
The distinct impression it creates to my mind is that at the time you approached the minister, you never had any idea about either the minister himself or just the possibility of an outside entity being approached. You did not have that in your mind. That's the distinct impression I have. But rather, the problem you are facing now is that you are not able to give an explanation as to your conduct. That's the difficulty you have. And that is why you now give us the answers that you've been given. I will leave it at that.
Thank you, Chair. So let's just go back to your bundle to page 58.
I am on 58, thank you.
So this is the email you sent to the minister on the 10th of November. And you say, dear
Maybe.
Minister, to Mr. Nkabinde, thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and it's on Sunday, the 10th of November at 1922. Investigation into cases. Dear Sir, in the matter of the below cases, and you list that these are the Valeria and Langlaagte cases, Orlando and Langlaagte. Please note that I, Fadiel Adams, request an independent investigator or body to investigate the cases I have laid. I make this request as your National Commissioner has claimed all is above board in the case of the allegations made against Major General Khumalo. We are reliably told that this is false and have the statements to back it up. If indeed the Commissioner's position is compromised in this regard, please view our concerns with concern. Regards, Honorable Fadiel Adams. Now, this comes on the...
Sorry. And please do not take this to assist you with regard to my engagement with you. What I was talking about was as at the time you write to the minister for the first time, the very first time, so that 9 days later, on the 10th, you now make a request for something independent to be done. It doesn't assist you in the engagement I had with you earlier, which related to the 1st of November. Now we are on the 10th of November. I just thought I should clarify that. You should not think that, oh, there I am. I'm now vindicated. That's just a comment. If you want to comment, you may.
You light this off. I need to comment. I've moved on from that, just
Thank you very much.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
I've moved on from that.
Thank you. Sorry for that, Mr. Gilson.
Commissioner, if I may, just ask Advocate, is there any file I can put away or move along because it's getting a bit cluttered? I am now with the one that...
You can put 9A away.
I'm
You
with,
can put 9 away.
File 2, can I put 9 away?
9, yeah.
9A?
But not 9B. You can keep...
Thank you.
So
Just-
keep file
I'm
2
struggling.
and 9B with you.
So I can put 9 away and keep 9B. Thank you.
And the one labeled Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi annex charge, so put that away as
You can
well.
put that away as well for now, Chair.
Thank you. That's 9B. Just leave it.
Now, your email to Mr. Nkabinde comes on the 10th of November, and you say that in your email, you say, I make this request as your National Commissioner has claimed all is above board in the case of the allegations made against Major General Khumalo. Where does that come from?
This is because I've raised some of these allegations in the police portfolio, and I'm told by the National Commissioner all is above board.
And when was this?
I can't tell you the date, but it would have been just before the 10th.
So at this stage, the Minister's office hasn't yet reported back to you on their findings in the investigation initiated by your complaint. There hasn't been an outcome yet.
In the complaint that you refer to about
Your 1
General
November
Jacobs,
complaint.
I'm not understanding.
Remember, on the 1st of November, you asked the Minister to intervene.
Yes, I did.
And then a process is initiated where the inspectorate is investigating, and the inspectorate must report back to the Minister, but we can see from the timelines that by the 10th, there is no report back that we can see. It comes after the 10th of November.
I'm not copied in on those emails to the inspectorate. Yeah, just, so what would have happened is I would have raised some of these issues, and I don't think all of them in the portfolio. I was
Yes.
asking questions, and the National Commissioner gave us the assurance that all was above board. I think one of the questions we asked about was the security clearance of General Madondo, and this is why I'm writing this email.
Okay, but, so your email on the 10th of November has nothing to do with your complaint about your dockets being intercepted?
I'm not really referring to it, I am mentioning it, but it's not, Minister, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm more than anything else, I'm complaining about the National Commissioner telling us that amongst other things, General Madondo's position at crime intelligence, all is above board.
Well, you don't say that. You say the allegations made against Major General Kumalo. I think you mean Lieutenant General Kumalo. Major
even-
General Kumalo is Mbuso Kumalo.
Yes, I'm wrong there, sorry.
Okay.
And I think also one of the allegations, that one of the things that I question, I'm thinking, was about his first security clearance, which Brigadier Slongweni says is a fraudulent thing. I think I raised that in that, I know I raised it in portfolio, and I think it was that meeting. So I'm sorry, I did get this. This is supposed to be Lieutenant General as well. Sorry about that.
Okay, so there's two processes now that you want the minister to undertake. The one is about your dockets being intercepted. And then the second one is, I don't want my dockets to be investigated by SAPS. It must be investigated by an independent body.
Yes, ma'am.
So your criminal cases must go outside of SAPS. On what basis?
I'm at that stage believe that my documents are being taken.
You haven't given documents yet.
No, the dockets, the case dockets.
Okay, the dockets.
Yeah, sorry, not documents, sorry.
Okay. So you believe your dockets have been taken at that stage?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
you've complained to the minister and he's and he's busy with an investigation. He hasn't come back to you yet and told you the outcome of that investigation.
But at that stage, I'm not aware of an investigation.
No.
But you must be aware, because on the exchange with Ms. Ncube, you see there are calls between you and Colonel Phillips. So
Yes.
you are talking and you're making appointments which you don't honor. So between the 1st and the 10th of November, you do become aware that an investigation is happening. Or at least an attempt is being made to sit down with you about those dockets.
You're like, just to clarify, Colonel Phillips never told me that he was from the national office. He never told me that he was coming from the office of Lieutenant General Jacobs. And maybe it's not, maybe he didn't need to. I'm under the impression that he's with Western Cape SAPS. I'm also under the impression that Western Cape SAPS are the people that came to come fetch my dockets. This is why I'm saying I'm not aware of the investigation from national.
Yeah, you may not have been aware that it's national that's doing the investigation, but you are aware an investigation is happening. You suspect that Colonel Phillips is from the Western Cape. That's not the point. The point is you do become aware after the 1st of November, or from the 1st of November, you do become aware that there is an investigation because you've referred to the matter for investigation. And yet on the 10th, in fact, in that intervening period, you are the reason that no meeting happens because you are unavailable. You say, I'm unavailable, I'll come back to you. So you're the one that's causing that there's a delay in a sit down with you. And yet on the 10th, you now want an independent body or investigator to investigate when you know there's an investigation.
Commissioner, thank you. Commissioner, I understand that I'm the one that muddied the water. I've got the paperwork in front of me. I understand and I accept that I'm the one that muddied the water. But when Colonel Phillips calls me, I'm under the impression this is part of a cover-up, and this is why I don't speak to him. This is why I brush him off. I don't deny it. I do not. And my faith in the process was, if I email the minister, or if I put enough pressure on, and I was going to take this to Parliament itself, then things will happen. But I promise you now, as I sit here, I had no idea that the office of the national office of the directorate was investigating. I thought it was a Western Cape thing. I thought that the Western Cape office had taken, the provincial office had taken my dockets. I thought this was just going to be part of the cover-up.
No, that cannot be. It simply cannot be. You complained to the minister on the 1st of November. The very following day, you were called by Colonel Phillips.
Colonel Phillips.
Surely, in your mind, it must trigger the idea that I complained yesterday. There's immediate movement. Look at the first entry under the comments. Colonel Phillips has written there that he did an introduction and explained the purpose of the call. No, you are not being truthful,
No.
Mr. Adams. You are not. Bear in mind that the very previous day, you have complained to the minister. Why is it that you cannot think, oh, there's immediate movement? The minister is moving on this. No, you're not being truthful. No.
If I may respond, Chairperson. Colonel Phillips introduced himself to me as Lieutenant Colonel Phillips from, what's the department?
Inspectorate.
Which my understanding is service delivery related. Now, my issue was I didn't know that the minister had involved them, because I'm thinking to myself, and I've said it loud in Parliament, I've said it in the portfolio, I didn't lay a service delivery complaint. This is why I wasn't expecting this. And I thought this was just a way to butter me up, and I understand today that my perception was 100% wrong. But I did not I didn't know that the minister had laid a service delivery complaint. I wasn't aware of that. And there was no communication from the minister's office to me to say that we have laid a complaint with the inspectorate. Perhaps you should take the call. Well, not perhaps you should take the call. They didn't inform me of this. So I was just giving this man the brush off, thinking that we'll get to the bottom of this.
No.
Now, I understand.
He says he explained the purpose of the call. He would either be lying or would have told you a wrong purpose of the call. He says he explained the purpose of the call. Look at that entry. So what other purpose could he have stated other than the purpose which related exactly to what you had raised with the minister? What other purpose could he have raised? It's on that basis that I'm saying you are not being truthful, Mr. Adams.
Chairperson, I understand what you're saying. Please understand when I tell you I was fearful of a cover-up and I did not want to meet with this man. That's all. And
Did he or did he not explain the purpose of the call?
He called.
Did he or did he? Look at that entry. He says
Which page is that, please?
Look at your screen in front of you.
I can't see the light.
3856.
Thank you. Same file?
It's a file.
9B.
Was it 9B?
9B.
Okay, wait. If can I move this thing forward? Thank you, because I can't see. There was an introduction.
And
He
then
did?
purpose of call and request for interview.
Yes, sir.
Did he or did he not explain the purpose of the call?
Chairperson, he called me, he introduced himself. He told me that he was going to investigate the dockets. I tell you this, I thought he was from Western Cape SAPS, and he requested the interview. And I thought to myself, well, I didn't even think to myself again. I consulted my friend, Whisper. He told me, I'd suggest you don't. I felt I shouldn't. I'm not even going to lay that on
No,
you.
please, can you please, we don't have all the time in the world. When I ask you a question, please answer the question directly. Did he or did he not explain the purpose of the call?
He did.
He did?
He did.
What purpose did he tell you the call was about? What purpose?
He said he was calling
Very briefly, please don't stray off onto anything else.
He said he was calling to investigate the docket complaint that I made.
The docket?
The dockets that were removed. He was calling to investigate that.
So to you, he spoke about dockets that had been removed?
Yes.
Removed from where?
From Grand Central SAPS. That was the purpose of the call.
The dockets that had been removed. But that sounds very strange in the context of what was happening for him to have said that. I find it difficult to follow what you mean by that.
I can't quote him verbatim. Oh, your light is on, sorry.
Sorry?
Your light is on, sir. Now, I'm assuming you're still
We
talking.
always keep the lights on, please. We are not about to change that.
No,
okay, I'm done now. Please speak. I'm not going to switch off my
No,
mic.
Justice,
I'm done now. Please speak.
No, I'm not
Thank
asking
you.
that you switch
Yes.
off. I'm just saying that I keep interrupting
Okay.
you. So,
All right, please go on.
I can't quote you verbatim what he said, but he told me that he was here to investigate the dockets that I had alleged gone missing. That was the conversation. It wasn't a long conversation, but that was the conversation. I just thought that I shouldn't trust him.
And why did you not relate that to the minister? Because you now say, he said, the docker said, you had complained had been removed. Why did you not relate that to the very complaint, underlying complaint, which you yourself referred to? Why did you not relate that to the complaint that you had laid only the previous day with the minister?
I don't have a reason, Chairperson. I didn't. I should have. I didn't, and I should have.
That takes us back to the point made by Commissioner Baloyi about you not taking up an offer of assistance. Yes, Mr. Secretary.
And in fact, Mr. Adams, we dealt with it on the 3rd of November in that same schedule, the 5th block, at 17:11 to 19:21, WhatsApp messages between Mr. Adams and Colonel Phillip. The second paragraph, request from Mr. Adams for letter from Minister to SAPS, image of email received sent to Mr. Adams. So there was an engagement as to you were either questioning why he's investigating it, which would have been a legitimate request, or he was telling you, I've been asked to investigate this, it's a request that comes from the minister, and you requested that letter that the minister had sent to SAPS, and according to him, he sent it to you, he sent an image of it, and you told us that you don't dispute anything in the schedule.
I did confirm that did one of the commissioners speak? I did confirm that I asked him for a letter.
And you did get it, an image.
When you say that this might have been, I need to check. He probably would have sent it. So yeah, so I'm going to concede that. I'm not going to dispute that. And I said earlier, just going through my memory bank, some of these things just pop up. Yes, it happened. Yes, it happened. Some of the things I don't think I'm familiar with. However, I'm not going to call this man a liar because of what I can't remember.
Because he isn't lying. He sent it to you. We could understand if you were concerned about why he's investigating, but now by the 3rd, that's resolved. He's even sent you the office of the minister's request to SAPS to investigate it. So let's not go back to that. Now the question is, on the 10th of November, you say to the minister, I want my dockets to be investigated by an independent body. I asked you, at that stage, you didn't yet know the outcome of the process that you initiated on the 1st of November. So now you're asking the minister for something else when you don't even know what's the outcome of the first investigation. Or did you already know what the outcome of the first investigation was?
I had no idea about that. It was not relayed to me.
Okay. So when you're asking the minister now for this investigation, you say it's because of the answers that were given by General Masemola at the Portfolio Committee?
Yes, ma'am.
About General Madondo?
I think it was General Madondo and General Kumalo.
So you want your dockets now to be investigated, not by SAPS. You're asking the Minister of Police to not to have your criminal cases investigated by SAPS. You want it investigated. He must have it investigated by someone else.
I'm asking for help, yes.
But on what basis do you ask him for such a request? You're a complainant. You've already used your proximity to the minister to get this investigation about your unfounded allegations of missing dockets. That is being investigated. And now you're saying, in fact, I don't even want my actual criminal cases investigated by SAP. Somebody else must investigate it. And you as the minister must facilitate that.
I wouldn't say I said that. But what I'm asking if this thing can be taken outside of the SAPS. And even as I sit here, knowing what I know now, my actions may not have been justified. I'm not here to deny that. I'm looking at everything that's before me. Understand the outcome of this investigation was not relayed to me. It was not relayed to me. So when I'm emailing the minister right here, I don't know about it. I don't know that General Jacobs' office is involved in this. I don't know these things.
Were you ever informed of the outcome of your complaint?
It was brought up in the police portfolio much, well, I wouldn't say much later, but a little bit later.
When, still in November?
Can I not commit on a date? I'm going to lie to you.
Okay. Was it before or after you went to IDAC?
It might well have been before, I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
I suspect that it was
It might
before.
well have been, yes.
Because that's why you go to IDAC, because you're not happy with the outcome of an investigation that you asked the minister to initiate into your allegations, where the inspectorate now says that actually, according to their assessment of your cases, there's no merit to these cases, right? You're not happy with that. That's on the 20th of November. The report is on the 20th of November. You're not happy with that. So on the 21st of November, there's a Section 27 affidavit with IDAC, referral with IDAC.
So, I've asked the minister for assistance. The minister has referred the matter to IDAC. That's how I end up there. It's not that I wasn't happy with the issue. If the minister was unhappy was happy with the outcome of the report, he only needed to say to me. He didn't. There was no communication between myself and the minister about that. So for me, I'm understanding what you're saying, and I'm looking at the confusion, and I'm saying to myself, this is a headache.
Like Mr. Adams to do is to tell us how he ends up communicating with IDAC, as opposed to it being put to him that he went on a certain date, because it's still not clear to me how he ends up communicating with IDAC.
Correct.
And I would like to hear from him.
Yes.
The minister's office, I think it was Mr. Nkabende again, sent us an email or copied us in on an email where they are referring this issue to the IDAC.
So you got to know from Mr. Nkabinde that the minister's office is referring the matter to IDAC?
I think it was Mr. Nkabinde that sent the email, yeah, but we are copied in on the email.
Yes.
And that is how my conversation with IDAC begins.
And can you flight that letter? We saw it in MK15. I think it's 10 MK16. Page 10. Dated 11 November 2024.
Oh, we
Page
do.
310 of the MK. Yeah.
It's 4004 of your bundle 9B.
9B.
Ms. Dube, can you run with it from here?
4004.
Yes. Do you
Yes,
have it?
I have it, thank you.
That's the referral request. Attached here to please find for ease of reference a copy of written correspondence addressed to the Minister by Member of Parliament, Honourable Fadiel Adams. The allegations contained therein implicate very serious senior members of SAPS and are viewed in a serious light, and case dockets were registered per the following. And then it gives your Langlaagte and Orlando dockets. And then it says, due to the nature of the allegations made by the Honourable Fadiel Adams, which is deemed to be quite sensitive and which contains allegations of criminal misconduct, this office requests the investigating director to consider investigating the same. Honourable Fadiel Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. And it's signed by Mr. Nkabinde, 11/11/2024. Is that the letter that you say you would have
This is the
received?
letter that I see.
Okay. So you say the minister is the one that, the minister's office.
The minister's office referred me to IDAC.
And then what was your involvement? When do you get involved?
I couldn't even tell if it was the same day or the next day. I Googled IDAC. I called their office and I said the minister's referred a complaint, and the person I spoke to said to me, no, if the minister has referred, you can be assured that we'll call you back. But I don't have a reference. You've not given me a reference number or nothing, so I don't know how to act. But rest assured, sir, that if indeed the minister has referred this, we will get back to you. and they duly did.
Can I just check, looking at the dates, your letter of the 10th and Mr. Nkabinde's letter of the 11th, he must have acknowledged and told you that he's referring to IDEC and he's referred to IDEC and you must now wait for their decision. He must have told you that. He responded to you.
I don't recall him telling me he's referring to IDEC. I know this is, I know I received this. I can check.
No, I'm talking even before you receive this letter, because in that page 4005, he says, Honorable Adams was advised by this office to await your decision in this regard. And so I'm saying that line means that after he received your complaint, he told you that we are referring to IDEC and you must wait for their response, otherwise that line...
I actually don't... Sorry, Commissioner. I don't recall receiving such correspondence, Commissioner. I can't recall, unless he's advising me in this email by copying me in on it, but I don't recall an email from him saying we are referring the matter to the IDEC. I don't recall that.
You don't discount it. What do you mean when you say I don't recall? Are you saying he's incorrect to say that you were advised to await the decision of IDEC?
I would not say it's incorrect. I'm saying that he may have sent such an email, but I don't think so.
Okay.
I may be wrong.
I thought you said this letter was an attachment to an email sent to you.
No, I'm copied in on this email.
No, this is a letter. Where is the email that you say you are copied in on?
I can provide it to the Commission.
Yes.
I can.
But the point is this, that this letter that we are looking at was an attachment. You got it by way of an email.
Yes.
And there was an email where Mr. Nkabinde would have said something to you.
I'm trying to think, like I told Commissioner Baloyi now, I actually don't remember such correspondence. All of this was printed by my office, my back office, but I can call them lunchtime and ask them, guys, is there anything like that?
But it's safe to assume that if somebody is attaching a letter to an email, then the body of the email would refer to the contents of the letter.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Adams, I really can't keep up with the various versions that you're giving. Then there's also the complication of the version that you gave to ad hoc regarding this. Can I take you to 4049 of 9B? It's the transcript. Do you have it? 4049.
I do.
The last paragraph. This is you, Mr. Adams. General Lincoln said to me that if this is what they have done, they are going to cover this thing up. I asked him, General, what do we do? He said, you walk away. I said, why? He said, because people are going to die before this thing goes to court. I said, General, are you serious? He said, 100%. I said, I am not going to walk away, and I am certainly not scared of death. What do I do? He said, son, you open this docket. You open these dockets, these cases in another province. Let us see what happens. I flew to Johannesburg, and I opened the case, the same cases at Orlando and Langlaagte police stations. But when I was there, I waited. I made it clear I was not going to leave until I received my case numbers because I wanted this thing registered. Once that was done, the very next day, I emailed the minister, the suspended minister Mkhunu, and I said to the minister that my dockets have been irregularly collected here in Cape Town because I'm complaining to the minister. I did not know what course of action the minister would take, but I did demand from the minister that someone outside the SAPS investigate this case. General Lincoln gave me a telephone number for the IDAC, which I contacted. I cannot remember who I spoke to, but I was contacted by Brigadier Perumal, and not the very next day, or maybe the day after that, by the IGI of Intelligence, Mr. Imtiaz Fazil. He asked me about the case I had laid. Now, where does General Lincoln now come into this? Because you say, here you don't mention that the Office of the Minister referred the matter to IDAC and copied you in that email, which you've just told us now, and you said you Googled IDAC independently, but here General Lincoln is the one that gave you the number for IDAC, and it seems that you decided to go to IDAC without the Minister having referred anything, or you having knowledge of the Minister referring to IDAC.
I didn't know who IDAC was before I received that. I can tell you that, even as a member of parliament. IDAC does not report to my portfolio. They report to justice. I've never heard of them. So when
No,
I
you
received...
did hear of them. You heard it from General Lincoln according to what you told
No,
ad hoc.
no. What I'm saying is that before this referral, I wouldn't say I didn't know who they were. I'm saying I wasn't familiar with IDAC. I wasn't familiar with their mandate, the terms of reference, the powers, none of that. General Lincoln did give me the number. He
You
did give
didn't
me-
Google it.
No. What I'm saying is the number he gave me didn't work. It went straight there. Then I Googled it. And if I can, I'll even check during the lunch to see if the number that he gave me, there is a number for IDAC that doesn't work. There is one. I Googled the number that works. That is what happened there. And
Why even mention General Lincoln giving you the number? If the number that he gave you didn't work, what is the relevance of that?
Please remember that I'm typing all of this for the ad hoc committee from memory. There are
This is
things
you
that
being asked questions.
Yes, but what I'm saying is as I'm answering off the spot, and sometimes I don't get the small details right. This is what happens sometimes. I mean, I'm sure I did it yesterday, I'm sure I'm doing it today, I'll do it tomorrow as well. This
Okay.
is what happens sometimes.
Okay, so you get the number, an incorrect number from General Lincoln. So you the one that speaks to Mr. Perumal.
No, I don't speak to Mr. Perumal. I'm told that, can you give us a reference number? I said, I don't have one. They said, well, if the minister's referred you, someone's going to call you. And then I get contacted by Chief Investigator Perumal.
Yes, that's what I was saying. You spoke to...
Yes, I spoke to him like that.
Okay. So at which stage now, because in your ad hoc evidence, you don't mention the minister's referral. You just say, I did not know what course of action the minister would take, but I did demand from the minister that someone outside of the SAPS investigate this case. General Lincoln gave me a telephone number for the IDAC, and which I contacted. So at which stage, so the minister, so now you know, your evidence, we're missing that part, that you knew when you contacted IDAC that the minister had also referred it to IDAC.
Yes, ma'am, with respect, the ad hoc committee is not as specific in its questioning. I was only asking the question that was being asked, answering the question that was being asked of me. I mean, at the level of intensity, you can't compare the two.
Okay, I accept that, but when you then, so now your call to IDAC, you do it because you were copied in on an email by the minister's office,
Yes,
referring it to IDAC.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but doesn't the email say that they must contact you? You initiate then?
Yes, ma'am. The email says they must contact me, but like I've just demonstrated maybe 10 times over the last day and a half, I'm always in a hurry with this type of thing. So I made the first approach. I didn't speak to anyone of relevance, and I was contacted the next. I think it was the next day. I say in my affidavit the next day. I think it was the next day.
Okay, you then speak to Mr. Perumal. And what happens thereafter? What are the arrangements?
Mr. Perumal calls me and explains to me that as the IDAC, they work on Section 27 referral, and told me that if they don't have that, then they cannot work. They can't investigate. I then, and here I don't have a date, not even an idea. Mr. Perumal told me that he would be in Cape Town in the very near future and asked if we could meet. And he asked if we could meet. And because I was on my travels on that day, I think I was on my travels that day, and he was staying at the City Lodge Hotel, he asked me if we could meet for breakfast. I told him it was too early to eat for me, but we could meet. We sat down. I gave him the bare essentials of the case. He asked me where the documents were. I said it's in my office at Parliament. He asked me, why is it in your office in Parliament? And I explained to him, I will hand you these documents in your office or at the NPA's office, because I don't know who you are. That is what happened.
You can't recall the exact date when that happened?
I couldn't if I tried. I think Mr. Perumal might be able to give an idea, because they were at the Lodge Hotel right by the airport. It should be very easy to confirm.
Who did you meet with?
I met with Chief Inspector Perumal, and Mr. Brian Padiachi was at the hotel. He introduced himself, but he wasn't part of the meeting.
Okay. So it's the three of you, and the arrangement then is you're going to give the documents to them?
The arrangement was that we would meet at a later date. I would meet with an advocate or an advocate. My A1s would be commissioned, and I would hand over the evidence when I was comfortable that they were, in fact, who they said they were.
And do you recall how long after that meeting did you then meet with them at the second meeting?
It wasn't too very long, 2.5, 3 weeks maybe, I think. I didn't write these things down, advocate. I mean, at the time it was just a meeting, you know what I mean?
Was it still in November?
I think it was.
Okay. And what happened at that meeting?
Oh, the second meeting. No, the second meeting was on the 6th of this, was it on the 6th of
Yes,
December?
that's also what I understood, that the second meeting is for the A1s.
Yeah.
The second meeting is in 2025.
No. I got my dates mixed up completely here.
Yes, you do.
I've got my, but the second meeting, the second time I see Mr. Perumal is on the same day when I meet Advocate Ransamy and Mr. Rapesu.
So that would have been not 3 weeks later, that would have been the new year, 2025.
Was it that late?
6 January 2025.
Was it that late? Oh, well, that's the date. That is the date.
Can we maybe just try to understand this? Perumal contacts you, Chief Perumal. You then have a discussion with him. Can you just give us clarity on your first written submission to IDEC? Your referral now, not the minister's letter. Your referral to IDEC, when does that happen?
That referral date will be on the referral. I can't even think when that. I haven't seen that referral since I gave it to them.
But it was in November 2024.
I think it was.
Yes.
I think that's the day I gave them the referral, when it was at the City Lodge. Yes, because he explained to me, we can't move if we don't have a referral. I said, I'll give it to you when I see you. There we go. Yes, that was inconvenient.
So your first meeting with them was when you gave them your referral affidavit?
Yes, sir. That was part of the meeting.
Yes.
And it wasn't them. The second time I saw Padiachi was here, because he introduced himself that day, and I think he had someone else he was seeing who was going to. I sat with Chief Perumal.
Just focus on the day of the referral affidavit. So who drafted it for you? Was it already prepared by you?
Yes, sir.
And you gave it to them?
Yes, sir.
And that would have been in November 2024?
On the date that it is signed.
Because the next meeting when you meet with them, they had already told you that there will be a follow-up meeting for your A1 statement.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And also in the envelope with my referral, and I think this may explain something along the way, I also included this email, this from the minister. That was on the screen now, to the investigating director. It was 3 pages in there. I gave 3 pages. There was that document, and this document was in there.
Yes. And I think at some point when Advocate Ngube engages you, we will need you to identify the document that you say was your referral to IDEC, but
Yes.
you will be engaged by the evidence.
100%, Chief.
Can I just understand how many meetings you had? We know in January of 25, you have a meeting with Mr. Padiachi, Mr. Rapesu, and Perumal and Advocate Ramsamy. That's in January 25. In November, who do you meet with before you sign off your Section 27 referral? I think it's dated the 21st of November. Who do you meet with before you do that document?
Advocate Paloi, on my first meeting, I met with Brian Perumal.
Just him?
No, and Mr. Padiachi was also there, but he only introduced himself and left.
This is when?
That's the first meeting. That's on the day of the Section 27.
In November?
In November. My second meeting is I meet the whole team, the investigating team, the advocate, Mr. Rapesu, Mr. Padiachi, Not Mr. Padiachi, Mr. Perumal, Mr. Padiachi was not at that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So how do you know that you need to prepare Section 27 affidavit?
When Chief Padiachi called me,
Perumal.
Perumal called me, he explained to me the process. He said to me that we, as IDAC, cannot move without a Section 27 referral. So when I met with him, I was a little bit confused because according to my understanding, even this letter was a Section 27 referral. I typed out my own one, and I included this in the envelope as well. And I said, here you are, there's your Section 27.
The Section 27 that you prepared, was it an affidavit or a letter?
It was an affidavit.
Okay. And where did you have it commissioned?
I had it commissioned. It would either have been at my office or at the house of the councillor that did it, because we are in each other's space all the time. I can't say for sure.
And who's that councillor?
It is Councillor Felicia Solomons.
Okay. And do you recall what was contained in that, the allegations that were contained in that Section 27?
I mentioned various things in there, and I don't think I'd be able to tell you all of them off the cuff. It's 18 months ago. It's not the easiest thing in the world.
Do you recall if you mentioned the forklift?
I think I would have.
You would have,
I would have.
because it was one of the important
It's one of the important
cases that you had. Would you have mentioned the PKTT?
Yes, I did.
You definitely mentioned.
I mentioned the PKTT.
Okay. And what about the PKTT did you mention in there?
I think I speak of and this is information that I can't disclose the source. It wasn't Andre Lincoln. The person spoke to me and said to me, there's so many things going wrong in the PKTT with regard to promotions. So that is one of the things I said. I think I might have said other things also, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Did you also mention the use of CI monies to purchase or book hotels for the PKTT?
I think it's one of my complaints, Commissioner.
Yes.
If I put it in there, I'd need to have a look at it and just remind myself. It's a long time ago.
I just want to take you to the presentation that Chief Perumal did, where he seems to summarize what was in your Section 27 affidavit, and then you can tell us whether that rings a bell. Okay.
I'm just a little cautious here, Commissioners. I have laid a case against these people. There is an investigation underway. Maybe you must guide me as to where and when, because I don't want to jeopardize this case. So you must just assist me with this, please. I didn't come with a lawyer because I don't feel I need one. I'm turning to your expertise here.
It will be subject to what you have to say. There are PESU commissioned affidavits, because those are his. He can't say, I've laid a case. Won't those deal with the same issue instead of the IDEC presentation, subject to what you have to say?
Commissioners, advocate, rather, it means
Why don't you please continue with how you were doing it initially, asking specifically about his recollection of his own referral affidavit. For example, you said, did you say anything about the forklift there? And he said, Mr. Adams said yes. Anything about the PKTT? Yes. Please go through it, and again, the focus being Mr. Adams' own referral affidavit, and then we can move on to something else.
Thank you, Chief.
So, just advocate, I was trying to get your attention earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt the commissioners. Can I request a 60-second toilet break, please? I just need to. This water's, it's not helping me.
Then, in that case, let's take the lunch adjournment. Let's resume at 2 p.m.
Thank you.
Let's adjourn.
Thank you.
What steps did you take?
Good afternoon, 121212. Good afternoon. It is 1300 hours 59. We are ready to resume. Please make sure that your devices are quiet. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, During the lunch adjournment, Mr. Adams and I had a discussion about the way forward on his testimony, given that he hasn't completed the recording, listening to the recording. And it is, I must say, in fairness to him, you would have to know how far to skip forward and all of that. And if you're listening to it for the first time, you would be wary to skip because you don't know if you're missing something. So he does need more time to listen to the recording and to consult with his attorney on certain aspects, especially the aspects that we need to cover now, dealing with the Section 27 referral and how that impacts on the criminal case against IDAC and IDAC officials that have been laid by him. We have agreed, subject to the Commissioner's approval, that we adjourn now and reconvene tomorrow. I foresee that we, on condition that Mr. Adams practices some brevity on his part, that we would be finished by tea time, which would include the recordings. We don't have that many clips to play and they aren't lengthy. He may have some, but I suspect it won't be lengthy either. He'll tell us what it is this evening or later this afternoon. We'll prepare the clippings and then we will be finished by tea tomorrow with his evidence, Chair.
And how does this impact on tomorrow's witness?
Chair, if they keep to the time allotted, which is by tea time, it would mean that that witness, then the scheduled witness starts at 11:30 tomorrow. And on the current planning, they should be done by 4 p.m. in the normal course. Thank you, Chair.
So what you are telling us is everything that's going to be covered with Mr. Adams is impacted by the issues you are telling us about. There's nothing beyond those issues,
Yes,
which
Chair.
can still be dealt with today.
That's correct, Chair. So the Section 27 and the affidavit supplementaries and A1s is dealt with in that recording where they talk about the supplementaries. So what we want to do is when we play our clip, we want to present those affidavits so you can see that what's being dictated is what we say are the affidavits. And then for Mr. Adams, of course, to take whatever he wants to include from the recording. So that's really all that's left in the Section 27 issues.
Mr. Adams, you confirm that that's the arrangement.
That is the best I could get out of those two, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
you
Chair,
want to say
yes,
something?
Chair, just
Yes.
before you adjourn, it's also just to say to Mr. Adams that we would request details of the criminal case that he's lodged against IDAC so that it can assist us in dealing with whatever objections he may raise tomorrow, should he raise an objection on the basis of that criminal case. But we will discuss that with him off record.
Yeah. You have no issues sharing that information?
I have absolutely none, and I will
Yes,
give it to you as I walk into the building tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's adjourn then and resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning. That came as a surprise.
Thank you, Chair.